My name is Jamie Rue. Today is the first day of NaNoWriMo, and I have 4,660 words. Sorry about the wet hair. I am not one of those people that, don't bathe during November. Yeah, so 4,660 words. That's not gonna be all of my November. That's gonna be, today and possibly tomorrow, and that'll be it. Because the rest of my month is gonna be I'm gonna write 0 words a day, and my total is gonna be 5,000 words. I said I'd put up some NaNoWriMo videos in my last video, and I didn't. Well, I filmed them, but then the file got really, really corrupted, and there was green bars here and gray spots here, and I was just no. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to film some daily stuff, not exactly daily, every 2 days. Possibly maybe once a week, I don't know. But this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to give you some tips now because I couldn't do it before, and I feel bad. So today I'm going to talk to you about one of the most important things, in my opinion, in literature, and that is dialogue. So you could be writing beautiful prose about how the room looked and how the setting affected the character and stuff, but honestly, I don't care. I read Anna and the French Kiss, and I knew that it took place in Paris. I didn't know where in Paris half of the time. I don't pay attention really to what the character looks like or how they're dressed. What I actually pay attention to is dialogue. Dialogue, I think, is what makes a story. Dialogue gives you a lot of the information, and it gives you some sort of connection between the characters, and it's really cool. So make sure your characters don't sound like idiots. Now, my first tip for writing dialogue is to make it sound realistic. Please do not be one of the people that writes "do not." Please don't be the person that writes "I do not think this is a necessary task." Write, "Hey, I don't think you need to do this," because that's how people talk. So if it's a book set in 1859, don't use the word "bay," don't use the word hashtag, don't involve cell phones, please have some common sense. Obviously that stuff did not exist then. But if you are writing a contemporary novel, make sure you use some slang, make sure you use the fact that we have technology, make sure they use Google, make sure that they don't sound like they're from 1795, because that is not how people talk. People don't talk like they're from 1795. People use contractions. I don't use contractions, apparently, because I've said "not" 50 times. So use "shouldn't" instead of "should not." Please. Okay, so next, make sure that whatever you write actually has to be there. Please do not have your character sum up what happened in the last chapter to catch up another character. If you were going to write all of that in one sentence, that long chapter that I just spent 15 minutes reading, and you were gonna sum it up in 2 sentences in the beginning of the second chapter, why did you make me read for the last 15 minutes? Okay? Be short, be concise, say what needs to be said. Maybe during NaNoWriMo you want to reach the word goal and you're just gonna write it all down. Don't do that. That is cheating, because you're going to have to delete all of that later and it's gonna suck. Don't write about the fact that I got up, I had pancakes for breakfast, and then I took a shower, and then I got dressed in this cute little sundress that fit me perfectly, and then I walked out to my maroon car and drove to school, and oh, I saw a deer on the side of the road that was dead. Yeah, most of that will probably not help you. If a deer being dead on the side of the road is a big part of your story, I'm sorry, use that. But if it's not necessary, if you don't need to show your character waking up in the morning, please don't, because I don't care. Next, I want to talk to you about the word "said." People hate the word "said." People are always "Oh, said is stupid. You use said too much." Honestly, the thing about dialogue is you want the thing that comes after dialogue. There's a word for it. I forget the word for it. If I find the word for it, I will tell you. The word after quotations or before quotation marks should be silent. They should not draw attention unless you want the sentence to be read with a certain tone. If you want it to read as a conversation, don't use really weird words after the dialogue. Just use "said," because that's what people are used to. That word, we're almost desensitized to it. We don't even notice it anymore. We notice the name that gets said after "said." This book, this really, really popular, best-selling book, says "said" all the time. 90% of this book is written with the word "said" after the quotation marks. And that is perfectly fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with using the word said. And make sure that you make your story interesting. Make sure that your characters are speaking in a dynamic way. Make sure that they don't sound boring as hell. I don't know what boring is to you, but make them not sound like that. And lastly, do whatever you want. Don't listen to me. I am a 15-year-old girl. Maybe some of what I said is true, maybe some of what I said is really, really wrong, but in the end, it's up to you to make the decision of how to write your novel. If you feel the need to recount everything that happened in the last chapter, do that too. Really, it all comes down to what the writer wants. And if that is what you want, then that is what you should do. I hope you reach your word goal for today, and if you don't, then you know you still have the next 30 days to catch up. So I'm gonna go back to writing now. Actually, I'm gonna edit this, and then I'm gonna go back to writing. Actually, I'm gonna edit this, and then I'm gonna go back to writing. But in any case, I will see you possibly tomorrow. I don't know. If you liked my awkward, rambly dialogue advice, then please like the video. If you want to hear more awkward rambling, then please subscribe to my channel, because that would be awesome. And if you didn't like my advice or my awkward rambling, then thanks for staying until the end of the video. Bye!